Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi. Today with me I have a 2022 Telluride SX. So in our past videos we've done a bunch of SXL or SXL night sky content. I think it's time we bring the SX back because this is probably the best value trim line for the Telluride in my opinion. So starting off with this particular vehicle, this color is called Dark Moss. On camera I believe it looks very brown, but in the sunlight or in person you'll see there's a lot of green tones to it. So it's a greenish brown color. It's very, very sharp looking. I do like it. It's classy. It works really nice with the chrome as well. Got Telluride in the front grille, new Kia logo, some chrome and some black accents. Nice balance. Down here you got your nice fog lights. Cool thing about this trim line is every single light is an LED except for the tail lights. So we'll show you a clip of them running in a second. But to start off, we'll just do a full walk around. We'll come over to the side. 20-inch machine finish alloy wheels. They're stunning. Very, very nice design and they look excellent in motion. On the side over here we have body colored mirrors with some black accents as well too, turn signal marker and a camera. So both of your turn signals will have a blind spot monitoring camera. The second you turn on your turn signal, it'll show you live feed from what's going on in your blind spot. It's really cool and we'll show you that once we get into the car as well too. Some more chrome accents, some black on your pillars, and then of course body color. More chrome on your handles with the vehicle's color as well too. Some black skirts, more chrome on the side. There's a lot of detail on the Telluride, which is something I love. Then on the back we have a very, very distinct design, a rear wiper. So something that's a little different than a lot of our other vehicles, we usually have them hidden in the spoiler. The Telluride has it down here. I hope in the next or the refreshed model they'll put it up there because I think it adds a cleaner look. Nonetheless, still a really nice rear end. And we'll show down, you got your all-wheel drive badge, your Telluride badge, your Kia badge, and your rear sensors. So this vehicle is equipped with a bunch of safety features, one of them being rear cross traffic alert, which uses these sensors to pick up movement, whether it's a pedestrian or a vehicle. We did do a video testing that out. It works fantastic. So I have it in my personal vehicle and it saved me a few times, or it's given me warnings, but if you do get a really close call, it will break for you. So they're not just bells and whistles, they're life tools. Then on the side here, someone mentioned gas caps. How do they work? So some of our vehicles have a release by the passenger's seat, either on the dash or on the floor. On the Telluride, it is a press one. So as long as you push it while the vehicle is unlocked, it will open. And you do have a fuel cap. So it just clips onto there when you get your gas. Then to close it, you just give it a nice push. Once you lock the vehicle, you can't get into this anymore. So no matter how much I push it, it won't open. No one's gonna siphon your gas. I mean, gas prices are so crazy right now, you never know. Then on the side here, same design elements continue than what we saw on the other side. So we're gonna go off inside the vehicle and show you some of the tech, the features, and just the cabin comfort and size. So actually, before we get into the interior, I'm going to show you the lights. So I'm just going to turn everything on. Charlotte's going to do a walk around. I'll also do the hazards and our brake lights. I'll make sure my fogs are on. So really nice amber lights, super sharp cutoff, and then you have your white LEDs as well too. Just a stunning design, and it's so distinct in the Telluride as well too. You can see one coming from nighttime, and if I see one in my rear view, I just know it's a Telluride. And Charlotte will come across the side as well. Let me turn on my hazards. Look at those amber lights. They're so stunning. Very, very bright. They add a lot of character and depth to the vehicle. And then we'll get a quick shot of the rear. Perfect. I'll hit my brakes as well too once I turn off the hazards. And then I'll also put it in reverse to show you the reverse light. And I'll turn that off quickly because it is quite annoying. And that's it for lights. So now let's head on inside. We'll show you the rest of the vehicle. So this is kind of the middle range trim for the Telluride. This is one above the base, but there's two trims above. One's an appearance package, so it doesn't add on any features, and then one is the SX Limited, which does add on a few features in different seating configurations. This feature, or this trim line, has a lot of tech and a lot of features. I'm going to try my best to go over everything. So starting off on the side door, you got some black, you got some soft touch material, so right over here, that's not hard plastic, that is soft leather. Some nice faux wood grain trim, as well as a satin chrome accent for your door handle. Memory seats are located right over here, so you have two settings. Over here you have your window controls, and these are power folding mirrors. So the second you lock your doors, they will fold in. If you don't like that feature or you want to turn it off temporarily, you can just use the switch here. You can also trigger them on command, leave them on auto, or leave them as is. You can adjust your mirrors to your seating configuration, lock, unlock, window controls, and window safety locks for kids. So another cool thing about this vehicle is it has obstacle detecting rear windows. So if something were to come, it can prevent you from dropping down your window. It's really, really cool. I've never seen it in person happen. My vehicle doesn't have it, but it's really nice, and it's a nice feature to have. You never know. Then down here, we have our Harman Kardon sound system, so it goes throughout the vehicle. Very, very nice how they tied in the design of the speakers to the rest of the door panel. And then we'll just pan over here. I'll show you, we have our vent here, so a nice shape that goes really nicely with the trim of the vehicle. Down here are brightness controls, so if it's a little too bright or too dim for you at nighttime, you can adjust it. Blind spot detection, so when this light is on, our blind spot system is on. Lane keep assist, so if I press this, it's already on right now. You'll see you have an icon on your dash showing that it is active. Once I start driving, that'll actually turn green once the vehicle is picking up the lane markers. So when it's white, it just means the system's on, waiting for confirmation or to actually see the lanes. Over here, we have our traction control. I always say it's for cool drifts and parking lots. And then we have our power tailgate button. So you can press that and have your tailgate open. Really nice. Some stores, they fill up your car for you, so you can do that without leaving your vehicle. You can also trigger that by using the key fob right over there, or by actually standing near your tailgate and pressing the latch. There's a couple different options. We also have a smart tailgate option. We've done a video on that. I think we'll link it in the description below. We'll link a bunch of videos in the description below. Be sure to check them out because we've done everything for any Kia Hyundai vehicle. And then we'll move on to our light switch. So we have full beams, daytime running lights, auto, and off. I like to always just leave it in auto because it's so much easier. Then we have our fog light controls as well too. This vehicle is equipped with intelligent high beam assist. So what that does is you can turn on your high beam assist. If it senses other vehicles coming up ahead of you, it'll turn it off for you. Then also just city lights, so when you shouldn't have your high beams on. If it senses the brightness is enough, then it'll shut them off and then turn them back on once you hit darkness or there's no other cars. And then steering wheel controls. On our left side, we have our media and Bluetooth controls. So it might be hard to see the icon, but there's a little talkie face there. That's to use your hands free. So you can say call mom or call whoever you need to call. Volume controls are just underneath. Then we have our answer button, our decline button, mode, which will change your different media mode. If I press this down here, I hope nothing comes on. There we go. Since this vehicle is brand new, it hasn't been set yet, you can adjust it to whatever you need. So in my personal vehicle, I'd probably have it on Bluetooth and Sirius XM because those are really the only media systems I use. I never use AM radio or barely FM. But you can set it to whatever you do like. If you never use USB, then there you go. You just went and select that. And it makes it really quick because you don't have to cycle between the menus here. You just press it on your steering wheel and you're good. These arrows here will adjust your stations. So whatever station you're on, if you're listening to Bluetooth music, it'll go to your next song, previous song, vice versa. If you hold it up or down, you can also skip or fast forward into the song you're listening to. Right in the center, we have our horn and our Kia logo. Really nice stitching pattern in the center. The wheel itself is actually a very, very nice design. So it's nice to hold, it's luxurious, it's big. I really like how when Kia heats their steering wheel, they heat the entire thing rather than just points of the vehicle or points of the wheel. On our right side here, we have our driving settings and our cluster control. So this little notepad button is going to change what I see in our cluster. So right now it's showing the doors open because the door is open. But if I press this down, it'll show my fuel economy. You can see your trip info, your drive info, and then your speed. Also, your drive mode. Right now it's in comfort, but there's a couple different options in the Telluride. If I had a route set on my navigation, it would show here, but since there's no route set, it'll just be a compass. Here we have our lane keep assist menu, our driver attention menu. So right now we have high, all-wheel drive torque distribution. So once we start moving, it'll show you how much power is going to what wheels. and then tire pressure. So we have to drive to display that. Here's where things get a little complicated. Not really, but this is where all your settings are going to be. So driver assistance, you can turn on different features here or turn them off. So this is your smart cruise control reaction. If you think it's a little too fast, too slow, whatever it may be, you can adjust it here. You can really personalize this vehicle. Driving assist, this is going to be your lead vehicle departure, everything. One thing I really love about this vehicle is if you're stopped, whether it's at a red light or a drive-through and the vehicle ahead of you moves, the car will warn you with an audible alert. If you don't like that, you can turn it off just like that. So you use this little knob here to control, to move up or down or select. Warning timing, warning volume, driver attention warning, forward safety, which is going to be your forward collision avoidance, your following assist for your cruise control, lane safety, keeps you centered in your lane, blind spot safety, lights up if there's a car in your blind spot. There's a bunch of features in here. You can really play around with it. We have done a couple videos explaining everything in here as well too. Even your service intervals in here. That sums up our little driver menus. Cruise control, so that's a quick way to turn on your cruise. You can set your speed here, cancel it, and then change your following distance. So you can have it set, there's I believe 4 different levels of following distance. I usually have it set to the closest, which is still pretty decent in space. So you don't feel sketched out, and this vehicle will slow down for you if the vehicle ahead of you slams on the brakes or slows down. I'll have Charlotte join me in the vehicle, and then we'll go over everything else in the center. Ready? So actually, before Charlotte goes around, I forgot to show you my power seats. These seats are so comfy, and like I said, they are memory seats. Right up here, this button will adjust your thigh support, so you can pull it out. If you have very long legs, this is very nice. Not so useful for someone like me, but I can just tuck it back in. Over here, we have the bottom of your seat, so you can push it back, push it forwards, lift it up, or drop it down. So there's a lot of different ways you can move your seats. This is going to be for your backrest, so I can bring it back up to me, then adjust it. And then of course you can adjust your headrest as well too. That is manual. And then here we have our lumbar support, so I can push it into my spine or away and get my seat very, very, very comfortable. Then of course your steering wheel does also move. So just this little latch here, drop it down or lift it up. All right, now Charlotte's going to come around and also show you the power options on her seat. All right, so Charlotte's going to pan over to her seat, show you have the controls for the bottom, the back, and lumbar support. And I should mention these are very, very comfortable seats and with a nice design as well too. So a very nice pattern. Our lights just shut off, so bear with us a second. They're motion censored. We're gonna have to run out. Here we go. I think we should leave that clip in. All right, so now we'll hop in and we'll show you the center section of the vehicle, what's in it. There's a lot of tech going on. So we have a 10.25 inch screen up here. This is equipped with navigation, Bluetooth, everything. So you got a lot of tech in here. I'll show you your map for your nav. You can close this as well too if you don't like the split screen. This will turn dark at nighttime, which I really, really like. You can set whatever location you want. Right now we're at KIA, but if you want to set it to, I don't know, the mall, wherever. Nav menu where you can save addresses. Phone, if my phone was connected to the Bluetooth, I'd have all my call history there, contacts, whatnot. Phone projection, voice memos, which is something that's actually quite cool. You can leave little voice memos in your car. Valet mode, passenger talk, which will amplify my voice to the rear speakers. If I have passengers sitting in the very, very rear of this vehicle, they can hear me, because this is an 8-seater vehicle. If you have 8 people in here, it might be hard to get your voice or your message to the back. Quiet mode will mute the rear speakers if you have anybody sleeping back there. Rear climate, you can control it here as well too. You can also lock it if you don't want your rear passengers playing around with it. So we'll close that. That's where you see it. We'll go back. Radio, I'll show you what your radio screen looks like. I love that song. Over here you have FM, AM, Sirius XM. So you can cycle also between here as well too. And if you ever want to favorite a station, you just press this little star right over here, and then same thing to remove a preset. You just press that there. So very, very easy once you get the hang of it. You can see the wood design follows all the way through and then transfers over to your door again. Same thing for the passenger. Lots of soft touch materials, lots of stitching, lots of design. There's also chrome on the bottom here, volume knobs here, 2 knobs there. And then you have hard buttons for all your favorite settings, so your map, your nav, your media, all of that. Climate control comes into play over here. Right now it's in Fahrenheit. You can change it to Celsius. We are in Canada. I do not know why it's in Fahrenheit, but it is. Heated steering wheels right over there, fan speed, rear climate control, AC. Cool thing about this vehicle is it has heated and ventilated seats for driver and passenger. USB right over there, another USB here, and a 12 volt right over here, as well as a wireless phone charger. So you literally drop your phone in there, no cord, and you are okay. I'll close that up so it does close very nicely. Oh, just gotta give it a push. Little slot over here, 2 cup holders, your gear shift, and your drive and terrain modes. Now this is a big, big, big feature. It really changes your vehicle. So when you have it in comfort mode, it's a nice, luxurious, leisurely drive. If I switch in eco, it's still a nice, luxurious, leisurely drive. It's just gonna be a little bit more efficient. Some people may think it's a bit sluggish. I still think there is tons of power in this vehicle. But when you switch in sport mode, completely different game. It really, really changes the way the vehicle responds to steering, throttle, everything. It's my favorite mode to drive in. Don't think it's everybody's right now with fuel prices. So maybe you want to switch more to Smart. Smart's just going to adapt to whatever you're doing. If you're giving it more throttle on the highway, it will adjust as needed. And then once you start driving in, normal conditions, it'll be the most fuel efficient mode to drive in. This is your auto stop and start button. So if you've ever been to a stoplight and the vehicle beside you's engine shuts off, no, the vehicle didn't die. It didn't idle. It is okay. It's just a fuel saver. Auto hold will hold you at a full stop when you fully depress the brake pedal. This is your little parking brake. Park view camera. You can watch your camera while you're parked. And then your parking sensors. So if you do not like the beeping when you approach something, you can turn that off just like that. Here we have our center console. So you got a nice little divider here that you can move around. I think it's actually the wrong way. There we go. And then another USB hidden in there, which is actually quite nice if you have any extra phones you need to charge, as if there wasn't enough USB chargers in this vehicle. Back here, 2 more cup holders. Now we're gonna hop into the back of the vehicle and show you what else is going on back here.
Hey everyone, it's Charlotte popping in to finish the Telluride to show you guys the back seat and then also the 3rd row and the trunk. Gabi did have a sales call because believe it or not, both of us still do have full-time roles here in the dealership in addition to helping out with the YouTube channel. So we're now going to take a look at the back seat. So I'll start by the door handle, or the door, I guess, not just the door handle. And I really like that Kia chose to continue the design onto the into the second set of doors. A lot of vehicles, sometimes there can be a bit of a disconnect between what the driver sees and what the passenger experiences. And based on the elements that we have here, we can see that that is not the case. They chose to continue with the wood grain trim, which looks great. I love this detail. I think it looks so cool. Obviously, you have your window controls. You have more of the soft touch fabric, which Gabi mentioned. And then, of course, you still have your Harman Kardon sound system. So they didn't cheap out on the back here. Your passengers are still getting the great sound experience that they love. And then also, you guys know how I feel about these pockets. I think they're really great. I always put my water bottle in there, even though it says no drinks. I just don't do open cups, but I find it very useful. Something else that we do have in the back seat is we do have sun visors. So those go up nice and easy. My only complaint when it comes to these sun visors is that it is rear-facing hooks, meaning you kind of have to push it backwards, up, and then over, instead of them being front-facing hooks. Front-facing hooks are generally just a little bit easier to get up, but it also means that it's easier for them to come down. This sunscreen, though, is really nice because on days where it's lovely outside, you can roll down your window and still roll and put up the sunshade. That way you're still getting some nice fresh air in, but you don't have to worry about bugs coming into your vehicle. So I'm going to let that down and we'll take a look at the actual space that we have here for your passengers. So I'm actually going to hop in here. Now these seats in the front, they are pushed back a fair bit. It's not as if I was driving it because I am on the shorter side. Sitting in the second row, I do have a fair bit of leg room here. I'm about 5'1", so I'm not very tall. My mom, however, does have a Telluride, and my husband, who's 6 feet tall, we have taken many road trips in the back seat with her, and he's never had a problem with comfort when it comes to sitting in the back seat. In front of me, we also see that we have a nice leather pocket. Doesn't give us much stretch as a typical net pocket or cargo pocket, but we do have a little one down here. We also have a hook. This is really nice for bags or even phone chargers, because you'll see we do have a convenience outlet here for charging. So like I said, on those road trips, sometimes what I'll do is I will plug in my USB charger, I'll wrap it around the hook here, and then put my phone kind of in this center pocket. It just helps prevent things from getting lost, because it is way too much of a struggle when I drop my phone between the door and also the side of the seat. So some other convenience features that we do have is we do have 2 cup holders for your passengers. And then down at the bottom, we do have a 12-volt outlet. We also have a household USB as well. And then the other passenger is going to experience the same thing on their side. If you only have 1 or 2 people in the back seat, this does flip down and it does give you 2 more cup holders and acts as an armrest. But this vehicle, it is an 8-seater, so this is also a fully functioning seat. And personally, I do find it comfortable. It's more comfortable than most because it is still fairly padded. So now we're going to show you guys the third row, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to get these seats down. So if you can see this right here, there's a little button, and all you have to do is press this button. And I'm not sure if you caught that on camera, but not only did the body of it actually move forward, but it slid forward as well. You can see the difference between the single seat versus the double seats here on where it was. So originally it was back there, and now it's moved up all the way. Another great detail is that there actually is a plate here. This is a nice plastic durable piece, and that is so your passengers can easily step in, pardon my dirty shoes, and easily get into the third row of seats. So again, we're gonna have a pretty similar setup when it comes to the third row. For convenience, you do have another USB charger. You also have 2 cup holders on this side. And then you're gonna have the same thing on the other side as well. USB, and then also cup holders. These seats, again, they are very comfy. Right now I'm shooting from behind the single seat. And as you can see, I still do have a fair bit of leg room. I'm comfy on my back for sure. If you are putting your taller passengers back here, I may not recommend it. If you have someone who's a little bit shorter, maybe put them back here instead and put them in the second row, just because I don't have the most leg room and they could get uncomfortable. But for people like me, I do find it fairly comfortable. Now we're gonna get out and we're gonna move to the trunk, but I do wanna show you how easy it is to put these seats back. So I can actually do it with one hand, especially since I'm not the strongest. But again, what you're gonna do, you're gonna press on your button and the seat just kind of pushes back and clicks into place. And then from there, you can adjust it to how your passengers would like it. As you can see, it is still up a little bit more. It did slide backwards, but still is kind of in the standard position. In order to move it, there is a bar underneath the vehicle, or underneath the seat, not the vehicle. That would be really inconvenient for the seat to slide back. So I'm gonna move to the trunk now. Sorry about the glare. It's a bright sunny day, and when I'm the only one filming and behind the camera, it can be a little bit difficult to keep up with everything. But of course, we see our nice KIA badging. So I'm gonna start by pressing the tailgate. So it does automatically open, and the height and speed at which it opens is adjustable. So you can control that from your key fob as well. So first impressions on the back seat, it doesn't look like very much. Of course, when you do have the third seat up, you do lose some cargo space. But let's start with what we do see. So we do have your cargo space here. It is fairly deep. I can still put my groceries in here, no problem. If I open this up, you do have a second level. You also have a spare tire. So that's really nice. It's a kind of a secret storage area, secret pocket, if you will. Now, if you don't need your third row, these seats very easily go down. All you have to do is you're gonna take this lever, you just pull it, and they automatically go down. There's nothing required. You really just have to pull that lever and it'll go down. The headrest will automatically fold as well. That way they will sit flush. So I'm going to put this one down as well. So same thing, grabbing the lever, you can see it fold. Oh, come on. There we go. That one needed a little bit of extra help, but that's okay. We all have those days, right? Now, all of a sudden, when you take a step back, you can see that you have more than doubled your cargo space. So you have tons of room back here. If by any chance you also just have 2 people or 1 person riding in this vehicle, or you're transporting something very big, there is a nice, quick, easy way to get the second row to come down as well. So I'll show you guys these 2 buttons, if my camera will focus. So what they do is if I press it, they automatically come back down. Isn't that nice? Now they don't automatically come back up if I press the button again. I will have to manually go around and lift them up. But this is great for when you're in a pinch, say if you're transporting a bigger item, and that way you don't have to do a bunch of moving and shifting around the vehicle. You can just set them down. And then it's very easy again to get them back up. I show you guys how to get the second seats back up, and then to get the third row, you just pull here. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in on our walk around of the 2022 Kia Telluride SX. We love this vehicle, and really, I do think it is the best value for your money when it comes to buying a Telluride, because not only do you get those awesome tech features that Gabi demonstrated when we were taking a look at the driver's seat, you also get tons of cargo space and passenger space. So this really is a great vehicle for your family, or even just for you individually. It's great for if you have just groceries and normal stuff that you're putting in your vehicle, or if you're transporting bigger items too. As always, we are a real dealership here located in Brantford, Ontario. So if you have questions about the vehicles that we have in our lot, make sure that you contact us. We'll have a link in our description box below. And if you want to see more Telluride content or more Kia Hyundai content, make sure that you like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye.